Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. Welcome to the Dragon's Den. Something has come up in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook. One of the ladies there said that she was having a problem because she sort of lost her, excuse me, my paper towels fell. She lost her mojo for paperwork. And so she was working on something else. And then somebody else in the group piped up, well, if you're not going to do paper crafting, you need to leave the group because you're not really a crafter. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I did not say anything in the group. I was very good. I kept my fingers still as much as I would have loved to have laid into somebody, but I didn't, because I figured I would come on here and we would discuss this. Yes, I am a paper crafter. I do junk journals, I do memory albums, I have done cards in the past. I do a lot of things that has to do with paper. But I'm not just a paper crafter. I make jewelry. That's not what I was looking for. Here it is. And this is one of my very small boxes of jewelry stuff. And believe me, I've got a whole shelf full of jewelry stuff and tools because I am a crafter. I also work in jewelry making and bead craft. And I mean, even on my desk, let me move some of this stuff around. On my desk here, if I can get it open. Come on, come on, come on. Well, if all else fails, and I know it's only because it's heavy. Yes, I have too much stuff in there. So I pulled it out with pliers. All right, let me set this aside. So put that back where it was. And I have buttons. I have more jewelry stuff and findings and things of that nature. Because I may be a paper crafter, but I'm not limited to paper. I do, and a lot of us, we do spine dangles. That's part of jewelry. That can be termed jewelry. I also do, this is my dirty cell phone cover. I do the bracelets that go around your cell phone. You know, the little tags. I do those. I make earrings. I do a lot of things. I'm not just paper, but I am still a crafter. And we use, as crafters, we use material and stuff in our journals. I also make snippets. But I'm still a paper crafter because I still do paper. I also work with material. I work with textiles. I work with beads. You know, you can still be a paper crafter even if all you do is work on it once in a blue moon. It's not so much being a paper crafter or a bead crafter or, you know, a sewer or anything else. It's the fact that you are creating. It's crafting in general. You are a crafter. It doesn't matter which area you're in. A crafter is a crafter. To give you a very good example, yes, right now we are working in our journal, but I mean, this is what, June already? We have 6 months till Christmas. And unless you're buying your Christmas gifts, if you're making anything, you really need to start like ASAP. It's like Sherry. She's already started making her Christmas cards. Well, I've started crocheting again. Yes. And all of this, the needlework, whether it's crocheting, knitting, tatting, sewing, embroidery, cross stitch, all of that, I have taught. So this is what I've been working on. In my spare time, in the evening, sitting here, watching YouTube videos. These are going to be the corners. And the only reason why they're corners is because they have a ring of white. Because initially it was only going to be this big. But then I thought, well, what if we went, so this size makes a bit more sense. So I've got 4 of these done. And these are my corners. Then I'm coming in, and it's all granny square. Super, super easy. And then I'm coming in, and I'm just doing the rest of them. Bits and pieces. I've got, yeah, I sit on the phone. If you're on hold, this is the best thing to do. If you don't know how to crochet, you want to learn how to do something as simple as a granny square, let me know in the comments. I can do videos on learning how to crochet. Basic stuff. And we would do basics. I see, there's your first little square. And then you would come up and you would add on to all the way around. So this one here has 1, 2, 3 rounds on it. And I've got this many done. And that would be 1, 2, 3. That would be to the first row of pink on here. And then I added 2 more. So there's 5 in total. But the 6th row on all of them will be white. And Victoria's mom is hopefully going to try her best to join us for Christmas this year. I want to have something handmade for her. And for those of you that think, oh, well, you're just doing this, this one project. You don't go there. I just came back from getting another big roll because in the last Afghan I did, I used, that's all I've got left of that one. But yarn, I'm using excess yarn. What have we learned in paper crafting, in our journal making? Use what you have. So, I'm using what I have. I have tray 1. I have tray 2. And I have tray 3. All yarn. And all of this is going into an Afghan. Why? Because it's taking up room. So, right now, not only am I a paper crafter, I'm a crocheter. I'm a teacher of crafts. I'm a mother, a grandmother. It's all making something. Well, not the, well, yeah, mother, grandmother. Yeah, but that takes 2. But when it comes to crafting, it doesn't matter whether it's paper, whether it's yarn, whether it's jewels or beads or whatever. You're still a crafter. Don't nobody ever let you take that from you. So, with that being said, now that my rant is over, I can put these away. Things have been a little change here. In order to keep the area in here cool to work with, we had what is called, in Japan they have them, they're called air cons. They're like mini splits, I think they're called here in the US. And I put the first one in 2013 in this room. Since then, this is number 3 on the wall, and it's died. American made mini splits don't last. So what my wonderful, loving son did, he went over to Home Depot and he bought a regular window air conditioner. Because how our house is laid out is, how am I going to do this? I'm going to try and diagram it for you. This is the den, the way it is here. Bathroom's here. Laundry room is here. And then the kitchen comes off of here. There is a window here. And that's where the air conditioner he put in so that it blows into the den. And then sitting here on the floor next to my grandson's desk is a pedestal fan to help push it through. And you would think that is not going to cool. Believe me, it is fantastic. No, I'm not sitting in here shivering. I'm sitting in here very comfortable. And I do have a Moore's fan, which is down here on the floor. Well, a Moore's a Himalayan Malamute, large, extremely large breed. She's about 200 pounds. And her coat is so thick that you can't, it's worse than this trying to get to the core down there, trying to push it. That's how thick her coat is. So I have a fan down here that blows directly on her when she's in here. It's just now that it is summertime, there is a corner in the living room that has an open vent and then the ceiling fan. So that's usually where you find her in the summertime, on the cold wood floor. And that's perfect. So I've got her fan down here, which helps. It blows underneath my desk. And you may not think, why aren't you having it blowing up on top of you? You don't need it. If my feet are cool, I'm doing great. So that it keeps, the air circulating under the desk here. And it's comfortable in here. It's not, I don't need to sit in here in pants and long sleeve shirt, kind of cold or cool. But, I have on a little sundress today. A little sundress. And I'm comfortable. So things do change. Now this is just a chit-chat type of day. Getting my rants and vents over with. Remember this? The little box I made? When I finished it, and I have now gone over with polyurethane, and I let it sit, a couple of days and cure. But when I closed it and closed it up, it stuck. And I had the hardest time trying to get it undone. So what I did was, I went and when we did our stamps on the material, I took thin strips. I put down the double-sided sticky tape on it, cut them out, and then cut them to fit all the way around, thinking that would work, that will do it. Closed it up, and then a few days later, the next day, I was talking to Sherry, went to show her, I fixed it, I opened it, went to open it, and it stuck again. So sometimes you just have to leave things sit for a while. But the material is there. The linen is there. As you can see, it's still got threads coming out, but that's okay. And then I didn't realize, but that is a shadow box. So I could put other little things in there. The other one, however, because we've been working with the cards and picking and drawing. Now, so far, this one hasn't stuck. Oh, it didn't stick. This is where all my little shorts are for all my washi tape. So now I can just, come here with my tweezers and pick what I need. Instead of deciding, well, am I going to do this one, that one, or the other. And I didn't realize when I bought this that it was a 3-piece set. So, it's too late for me now to go back and tell Hobby Lobby, oh, well, when I bought this, I only got one. I didn't realize. No. But I am seriously considering going back and getting the full 3-piece set. But that's going to be more work to do. Other than that, that's about all the changes that have been going on We will be working in the journal next video, as I do want to do some more of the cards. Quite a few of you have been enjoying those, so we'll do a few more of those until we are out of our part. Remember, all my face cards are in here. These here are the ones we've used so far, and then we still have all of these left, so we can probably get another 2 or 3 draws out of them before we have to put them all back together and shuffle them and start all over again. So there is that. If you think we should try it with the dice at some time, it's just one die and it's rolled, and then I don't think I'd have to see how Dee does her dice though. I don't think it's rolled every time. I think she rolls it once and then picks either from the front or the back, that many. So, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, you are a crafter. It doesn't matter what your element is. And if anybody tells you otherwise, tell them Shelby said they're wrong. And they can come and talk to me about it. So, we'll leave it at that. So until next time, and we'll be working in the journal, guys. Bye.